So this is another game we programmed. I was on a team of 5. There were 2 engineers, 2 producers, and 1 artist. Our target demographic was middle-aged women iPhone users, so we had to program an iPhone game. So screen real estate was a problem, so we decided that there's this tile set, and it's a time management game where you manage a fudge shop. The idea was you would go for 2 weeks. Each day you would try and do your best, right, for each day, but the 2 weeks was like when it reset. So you had 2 weeks to get as much money as you could before resetting, kind of like a roguelike game where you just start over again, and whatever money you made at the end you can spend towards upgrades or something for your next run through. So as far as the prototype went, though, we built it for 1 day. You can see on above and below the shop when we start the game there will be this readout for like high score and stuff, and that was just for the prototype so we could show off that sort of thing. So you click into it and you're presented with a shop. So you see your employee is right in the middle. You're managing the shop, so you're kind of this omnipotent store owner, right? So customers will come in and they'll say what they want. So they want 4 fudge, or 4 caramels. So we'll send over our employee to go make caramel, right? So the idea on this game is that you can send your employee to go do something, or you notice when you click on something, it provides a mini game, an employee, and an information option. So if we send our employee to the cash register, he can help them out while we go make strawberries. And so the idea was that we'd have a mini game. We would like dip the strawberries into the fudge to make more for your stations. So we didn't get the mini games finished in time, so that's kind of like you have to pretend and imagine you're pouring the caramel on, right? So we didn't finish in time for the last assignment. The idea, though, is that you have to send your employee to go help out while you go do something else, right? So you send employee here while you go spin the sign outside. So you would spin the sign. So you can see the readouts. There's how much money you've made, how many customers you've served, how many customers you've lost, what your popularity is, which is increased by going outside. So every time you spin the sign, the rate at which customers come in is faster. So if you send your employee to go make fudge while you make chocolate, or you're making chocolate covered strawberries while he's manning the register, it's kind of like this, you have to tell your employee what to do while you do something else as well. So overall I think this game went pretty well. I think for the time we had, we did pretty well. Neither engineer knew LUA or MOAI, so we got quite a bit done in the short amount of time that we had. So we only spent 4 weeks on this project, and the first 1 week was getting the idea for the game, right? So we spent the first week getting the idea fleshed out as well as learning the language. After the first week, we spent weeks 2 and 3 programming the games. We got a workable game by the first week. The next week we were adding stuff in, like the different locations. We were adding in how the background of like how these customers interact with your store, like the popularity, how we display what they want. That took a while. We spent the last week of the project polishing the game for the presentation, so it looks nicer than it did before the last week, but there were some features that we had to cut out because of that. So the mini games never got done, but our presentation was a little bit stronger. I have to say that this game was probably the least finished and possibly the least fun out of all the games we've made in this class. However, I still like it. The team I worked on was really cool. I just think that we got a little too far into this before deciding what to do on it. So that was 8-Bit Fudge.